Welcome to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. If you're listening on Spotify, you can support the podcast through listener support. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/Animal Stories for Kids. And now, it's time for our story. Once upon a time, there was an Argentine black and white Tegu named Abril. Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, was in her season of brumation, and at this point had been asleep for the last 6 months in her burrow deep in a rainforest basin and was about to wake up and go out to find something to eat after such a long time underground. When all of a sudden, rain came pouring down. And it didn't stop. The water rose quickly all over. All kinds of animals were running away from the rising water, and it also began filling Abril's burrow and forcing her to wake up. The water began soaking up the dirt around Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, and she woke up and noticed her tail getting submerged underwater. "Why is my tail wet?" Abril said to herself. She looked around and saw water coming down to where she was. Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, said, "This is an interesting way to wake up. I better hurry before I get stuck down here underwater." Abril scrambled out of her burrow, crawling through mud and water, and into the floodwaters above, which were already rushing through the rainforest. Abril knew how to swim, but the floodwaters were too strong for her to fight through. She was swept away by the waves and carried downstream through the forest. As she was being carried by the waves, Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, noticed a piece of tree bark floating nearby. She quickly jumped onto the bark and began to surf. At first, Abril had a hard time balancing on the bark. She fell in the water a few times, but she kept on getting back up on it. The waves were powerful, but Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, was a fast learner. And soon, she was surfing on the piece of bark, and she rode the flood waves through the rainforest, over fallen trees, and past all the animals. And as Abril was having fun riding the flood currents, she floated by a harpy eagle that was just perched up on a tree near all the water flowing out to the ocean. "Ooh, I like the look of that Tegu," the harpy eagle said out loud. "This floodwater is practically delivering my meal to me. I don't even have to fly anywhere to catch my meal today." The harpy eagle then locked eyes on Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, as she was riding the flood waves out. It only took a moment, and the harpy eagle opened its wings and flew straight for Abril. Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu, had a strange feeling. She was having fun surfing on the piece of bark, but there was a sense that something was coming towards her. So she looked around. First, she saw a sloth hanging on a tree, and it was trying to say something to her, and it shouted, "Watch out!" Abril asked, "Watch out? Watch out? Watch out for what?" Then a group of howler monkeys screamed at Abril, the Argentine black and white Tegu.
"There's a harpy eagle swooping down to catch you!"
Abril looked behind her, and she saw the harpy eagle opening up its talons, getting ready to snatch her out of the tree bark in the water. Wait, oh, no, please, what should I do?" she asked. The howler monkey said,
"Jump in the water!"
Abril didn't think twice and just listened to the howler monkeys. She jumped in the water right at the moment the harpy eagle swooped down, and the talons splashed in the water and grabbed nothing but water. The harpy eagle said to the howler monkeys, "Hey you! You ruined my meal. Now I'm gonna get you, howler monkeys!" And it started chasing the howler monkeys as they disappeared into the rainforest. Abril got back on her tree bark and saw that the harpy eagle was gone, and she kept riding the waves and currents through the rainforest. And the floodwaters carried Abril, the Argentine black and white tegu, for miles. She saw things she had never seen before outside of her rainforest. And eventually, she reached the delta of a river that flowed into the ocean. Abril was now out in the ocean, some distance from the beach. She looked around and wondered, how am I gonna get back home? Just then, Abril, the Argentine black and white tegu, saw a pod of dolphins swimming nearby. She had always heard of dolphins, but she had never seen one before. So when Abril saw the dolphins, she was mesmerized. "Wow," said Abril, "I never thought I would ever see a dolphin." And she decided to try to get their attention. She shouted, "Help! Dolphins! Can you all help me? I need to get back to the beach." The dolphins heard Abril's cries and swam over to her. One of the dolphins asked, "Hey, lizard, are you okay?" Abril said, "Yeah, now I am. Am I glad to see all of you? Can you help me back to land?" The dolphin said, "Of course. Let's go, dudes. And, dudette, go ahead and hop on my back." Abril, the Argentine black and white tegu, got off of her tree bark and climbed onto the back of one of the dolphins. And then they began to swim towards the shore. "Hold on tight," said one of the dolphins. "This is gonna be a wild and bumpy ride." And so the dolphins swam as fast as they could. But the currents were still very strong. Abril bounced around on the dolphin's back. She held on tight, and the dolphins took her underwater and jumped up out of the water too, and she held on the whole time. "Whee!" she cried. "This is so much fun!" And after what seemed like an eternity in the waves going in and out of the water, the dolphins finally reached the shore. And Abril climbed off of their backs and thanked them for their help. "Thanks, dolphins," said Abril. "You're welcome," said the dolphins. "See you later. Hope to see you next time when the rain floods come." And then Abril waddled back into the rainforest to get back home. It took Abril a while to get back to her home in the rainforest basin. Everything was still wet from the flooding rainwaters, but it was all getting back to normal. As she was getting close to home, Abril saw the howler monkeys again. And she said to them, "Hey, howler monkeys, I just want to say thank you for helping me earlier. That harpy eagle was about to get me, and I would have been a meal if you didn't help." One of the howler monkeys said,
No worries. We noticed you were surfing and having fun, and we wanted you to keep going because when do you ever see a tegu surfing in the water, right? And the harpy eagle left us alone after we let it into the rainforest and it got lost. But we all know the harpy eagle will be back. So we're gonna get out of here. And you should too.
And the howler monkeys went back to their home. Abril, the Argentine black and white tegu, agreed and went back home as fast as she could too. And she saw the sloth from earlier and said, "Oh, hey sloth. Thanks for helping me earlier. That harpy eagle almost ate me, but you helped me, and I'm so thankful." And the sloth said, "No problem." Abril gave a nervous smile to the sloth while watching out for the harpy eagle and said, "Okay, sloth, bye-bye." And she waddled as fast as she could back to her home. Abril, the Argentine black and white tegu, had a great adventure and learned a lot. She learned to surf, and she got away from a hungry harpy eagle. She even learned that through such a wild adventure, she was actually stronger and braver than she thought she was. She also learned that there were kind and helpful creatures all around her in the rainforest, even in the most unexpected places. And the Argentine black and white tegu lived happily ever after. The end. The Argentine black and white tegu is also known as the Argentine giant tegu, the black and white tegu, or the huge tegu. And it is the largest species of tegu lizards. Sometimes tegus are kept as pets, and they're known for their high intelligence and being able to be housebroken. Argentine black and white tegus can recognize their owners if they're housebroken and are pets, and they can get close to them. The Argentine black and white tegu can be found in subtropical and tropical lowland forests, shrublands, flooded grasslands, rivers, swamps, marshes, and even urban areas. The Argentine black and white tegu is native to South America and can be found in countries like Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay. They can grow up to 5 feet long and can live up to 12 years. Argentine black and white tegus can weigh up to 20 pounds and are easily recognizable by its mottled black and white beaded skin. And they typically have bright green heads when they're born, which fades and becomes more black as they get older. Argentine black and white tegus are omnivorous animals. Their diet consists of insects, small mammals, reptiles, birds, and eggs in the wild, and invertebrates. They also eat fruit and vegetables. Some predators of the Argentine black and white tegu are jaguars, large birds of prey, snakes, and other larger animals. These reptiles can adapt to many habitats. The Argentine black and white tegu are known as great swimmers too, and they've been observed to travel long distances in the water in search for food and a place to settle. The Argentine black and white tegu will hiss loudly and try to intimidate its attacker by inflating its body and opening its mouth when it feels threatened. And if that doesn't work, the tegu will bite. And if that doesn't work, it runs away really fast. One adaptation that the Argentine black and white tegu has developed is that it can drop its tail on the floor as a form of distraction if they're attacked, which gives it some time to run away. They can drop their tails when it's grasped by a predator or if they feel very threatened, and they can regenerate and their tails grow back. But when the tails regenerate, the bones and vertebrae don't grow back. Instead, the tail's cells build a new tail out of cartilage. Their tails can also be used as a weapon. During the colder months, usually from fall to winter, Argentine black and white tegus go into a season of hibernation called brumation. And during the time of brumation, Argentine black and white tegus burrow underground and their heart rate slows down as their activity level and their body temperature drops. Brumation can last from 4 to 6 months long, and sometimes even longer. Have you ever seen a real-life Argentine black and white tegu before? If you have, where did you see it? If you want to write to us, ask your parent to email us at animalstoriesforkids@gmail.com. And tell us what you think of our stories. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. If you're listening on Spotify, you can support the podcast through listener support. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/animalstoriesforkids. Until next time, bye!